I'm Joanne Vargas, and I'd like to welcome you to my presentation as to why we need to protect the Environmental Protection Agency. The health of our environment is under attack. Members of Congress have repeatedly tried to stop EPA regulations. Powerful lobbyists from the oil and coal mining industries are trying to have the EPA dismantled. Opponents claim regulations are too costly and have negatively affected our economy. But the EPA has proven to be a vital component of the network acting to protect our environment. And the economic benefits of EPA regulations far outweigh the costs. So what should we do? We must protect the EPA by voting in elected officials who vow to protect the EPA, and by voicing our opinions through letters and petitions to our elected officials to tell them to keep the EPA intact. Pollution is what's destroying our environment. And what are the causes of pollution? Chemical production has increased 400% since 1930. Some of these chemicals are very toxic and find their way into our water, our air, and our soil. Air pollution is caused by burning fossil fuels, which release carbon dioxide and cause climate change. Industrial processes emit sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, and other noxious gases that contribute to smog and acid rain. About the EPA. The EPA was created under executive order of President Richard Nixon in 1970 and has been charged with protecting our air, water, and land. The EPA protects our environment by researching pollution, enacting regulations, and ensuring compliance with those regulations. Regulations are mandatory requirements that can be put on individuals, businesses, nonprofits, local and state governments, or others. What has the EPA done? In 1972, the EPA made amendments to the Clean Water Act to maintain our clean water systems. In 1976, the EPA enacted the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, which regulates how we handle waste and how products are manufactured. In 2015, the Clean Air Interstate Rule was enacted, which puts a cap on sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides. In 1973, the EPA enacted a program to remove lead from gasoline because the fumes from lead are extremely toxic, especially to children. In 1975, the EPA banned the use of the pesticide DDT, which almost caused the complete extinction of the bald eagle. Thankfully, as of 2007, the bald eagle has been completely removed from the endangered species list. The EPA also helped in the ban of smoking in public places, indoor public places, by labeling secondhand smoke as a known carcinogen. And thanks to the EPA emission standards, today's cars emit 75 to 90% less pollution than the cars from the 1970s. The opponents of the EPA are wrong in saying that the EPA regulations are detrimental to our economy, because EPA regulations create jobs in pollution cleanup and prevention. Regulations also save us billions of dollars by avoiding the negative health effects of pollution. EPA regulations also prevent the cost of damages caused by extreme weather due to climate change. The White House Office of Management and Budget found that from 2003 to 2012, EPA regulations did cost up to $45 billion, but in return provided up to $640 billion in economic benefits. How can we take action? We need to learn about our candidates running for office in our local, state, and federal government. We need to vote for those who vow to protect the EPA. We need to write letters and sign petitions telling our elected officials to support and protect the EPA. Are there any questions? No? Okay. Then this concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Yay!